Kim Reese shivers under her blankets. Her bed sheets are damp from her profuse sweating. She grips her blanket tightly as she tries to keep warm. Kim is a 17-year-old high school student who is normally full of life, but this sickness has taken control and wiped out all of her pre-existing energy. Margaret, Kim's mom, dressed in a costume, walks in with a medicine cup filled with Tylenol. "Here you go, sweetie," Margaret tells her daughter, handing her the cup. Kim sits up and chugs it quickly. She makes a sour face. Kim slides back down under her sheets. "Is there anything else I can get for you?" Margaret asks. "Yeah, a cure for this cold," Kim remarks sarcastically. "Aw, I wish that were possible. Hopefully this medicine helps." "When are y'all leaving for the Halloween party?" Kim asks. "Probably in the next hour or so." "Are you sure you're going to be okay for the night while we're gone?" "Mom, I'm fine. I'm sick. I'm not dying." Kim smiles at her mom. "Just want to be sure you're okay. The candy bowl for trick-or-treaters is next to the front door. If any come, it's up to you to pass them out. I mean, if you're up for it. The patio light is off, so it should deter them." "I'll be fine," Kim reiterates. "Okay, very well then." Margaret stands and starts to walk out of the room. "Mom." Margaret turns around. "Yes?" "I like your costume," Kim says, smiling. "Thank you." Margaret returns a smile and walks out. Kim's phone on the nightstand next to her bed dings. It immediately catches her attention. She reaches over and grabs it. It's a text message from Garrett. She swipes up, unlocking her phone so she can view the text message. The text reads, "Happy Devil's Night, mwahaha," followed by a few smiling emojis. Kim smiles at the text. She reads her response aloud as she types it. "Happy Devil's Night to you. Any wild plans?" She sets her phone down on the bed next to her and snuggles back under the sheets as she awaits a response. It doesn't take long for her phone to ding. She reads Garrett's reply. "Gonna head to Trent's party. Wish you could go. Feel better." Kim smiles and replies, "Bummer I can't go. Have fun and don't have too much fun without me though." As the medicine starts to settle into her system, Kim starts feeling better. Her fever subsides along with her upset stomach. Philip and Margaret enter the room. "We're headed out," Philip announces to his daughter. "We'll be back in the morning. Call us if you need anything," Margaret tells her, blowing her a kiss. They walk out of Kim's room. Kim turns over. She unlocks her phone and opens Facebook. She starts scrolling through her feed where it appears like everyone but her is having a kick-ass Halloween. Her scrolling is interrupted by an incoming FaceTime call from her best friend. She answers it quickly and sits up. Victoria's skull-painted face fills Kim's iPhone screen. "Hey, wench," Victoria yells, smiling from ear to ear. "What are you doing?" Kim asks her friend. "Waiting on Marcus's ass to show. You know how he is. I'm not holding my breath or anything." Victoria chuckles at her own comment. "How about you? You still feel like shit?" "Just took some medicine, so not like complete shit," Kim remarks. "I have a proposal for you." "Oh yeah, what's that?" "Marcus has some of the best herbal medicine. When he gets here, we'll come over. You know, herbs always help," Victoria smiles. "That sounds great. I thought I would go mad being here alone." "I'll see you in a bit, girl." They blow each other a kiss and hang up. The doorbell rings and its harmonious tone jingles through Kim's house. She ignores it and remains in her bed. It rings again. "Can't take a hint?" she exclaims, getting up from her bed. She walks down the stairs and rushes to the front door. She swings it open, ready to scream, but there's nobody there. "That's what I thought," she says confidently. Kim closes the door and starts walking back up the stairs towards her room. The doorbell rings again. She turns and rushes down to the front door. She opens it with great force. Again, no one is there. "You're messing with the wrong house," she yells. Trick-or-treaters walking by her house on the sidewalk stop and stare. She smiles awkwardly and closes her front door. Kim gets into the shower to wash the stench of sickness and dry sweat off of her body. She plays music from a rap playlist on her speaker as she freshens up after her shower. She coughs a few times and begins to feel weak. She sits down to catch her breath after her coughing fit. The doorbell rings. Kim's face fills with glee, and she rushes downstairs as quick as she can without coughing again. It has to be Victoria and Marcus. She answers, and Marcus is standing with his cape pulled over the bottom half of his face. "I want to smoke your weed," Marcus says in his best Dracula voice. "Move," Victoria says, pushing past her boyfriend. "Just trying to lighten the mood," Marcus retorts. Kim and Victoria hug. As Victoria walks away, Kim turns to Marcus and whispers, "It's okay. I thought it was funny." Marcus smiles. The three of them step out onto the back porch. They each sit in a lawn chair. Marcus takes out a gallon bag filled to the brim with weed. Victoria claps her hands. "Now for the main course." Marcus shows off the bag. He tosses it on the table next to him and removes a pack of zigzags. He breaks up the weed onto the rolling paper. "So, are you guys going to the same party that Garrett is?" Kim asks, sadness in her voice. "Yeah, Trent's. Probably going to be pretty lame, though. You ain't missing nothing," Victoria says, attempting to convince Kim even though she doesn't believe her own bullshit. "Nice try. His parties are always epic," Kim says. "Your own personal joint," Marcus tells Kim, passing her a joint. She takes it from him and sparks it up, inhaling a long drag and holding in the smoke for only a second before she starts coughing. "Easy, girl. And now for ours." Marcus passes Victoria a joint. The friends sit quietly, puffing on their joints. Marcus looks up to the sky, high and eyes filled with amazement. "So, if God made us, then who made God?" Kim and Victoria exchange a look. "What the hell is he talking about?" type look. They then turn to him and stare for a moment before cracking up. "Seriously, you guys don't think about stuff like that?" Marcus defends his thoughts. "Not really, no," Victoria remarks. Kim shakes her head. "Looks like you're alone on this one," Victoria continues sarcastically. "Fine," Marcus says, taking a long drag off of his joint. "You guys should get going. Didn't the party start like an hour ago?" Kim asks, standing from her chair. "Oh shit. Time flies when I'm in my zone," Marcus stands. Victoria quickly follows. Kim walks her friends to the door. Victoria turns to her friend. "We'll miss you." "Yeah, for sure," Marcus says in agreement with his girlfriend. Kim watches as her friends load into Marcus's truck and drive off. She waves as he hauls ass down the street. A few parents who are trick-or-treating with their children yell and signal him to slow down. Kim chuckles and walks inside. She plops down on her couch and turns on the TV. A horror movie plays on her smart TV. As time passes, Kim obsessively checks her phone every few minutes. She sets it face down. "Now I'm just being creepy and weird," she shakes her head at herself. As the medicine wears off, she begins feeling weak again. Her bones start to ache. It sobers her quickly. She's tired and wiped out. Her eyes begin closing and her head bobs. She tries fighting it but is losing, until the doorbell rings, startling her awake. She looks at her phone. 10:48 p.m. She ignores it for a moment. A couple moments of silence are interrupted by the doorbell ringing again. It screams through the house. She stands, agitated, and marches towards the front door. Her phone stays back on the couch. She opens the front door. A trick-or-treater wearing a baby wolf mask and tattered overalls stands on the porch. "Trick or treat," his voice soft and innocent. He holds out his candy bag. Kim looks behind him to the sidewalk. There's no adult accompanying the child that is standing in front of her. "Where's your parents?" Kim asks curiously. "Trick or treat," the child tells her again, holding his bag out. "Fine." Kim reaches behind the door to the candy bowl and grabs a handful. She puts it in his bag. Excitement radiates off of him as he runs off of the porch. Kim sets the bowl of candy on the porch and closes the front door. Kim walks to the kitchen. Her body is still aching as she takes another dose of Tylenol. Sweat pushes out of her pores. She walks back to the living room and, feeling too lethargic to walk upstairs, she plops down on the sofa. She lays her head on a pillow and quickly slips into sleep. Kim starts snoring as she sleeps. Standing a few feet away from her is the trick-or-treater with the baby wolf mask. Next to the child is a tall, broad-shouldered man wearing a black furry wolf mask. The two watch as the unsuspecting teen sleeps. Kim turns over and buries her face deep into the cushion. Her phone starts ringing loudly. Groggily, she reaches over and grabs it. Through blurred vision, she squints and sees Garrett's name in big letters. "Hey, everything okay?" Kim answers, concerned. "Never better," Garrett responds, slurring his speech. He starts chuckling. Kim checks the time on her phone. "Garrett, it's 2 in the morning. Can't this wait?" "No. I'm horny and I'm coming over," Garrett says sternly. "Listen, I'm really sick and now's not a good time. You should get some sleep," Kim suggests very kindly. "Listen. No, you listen. You always push me off and push me off. I'm tired of it. I'm on my way." Garrett hangs up immediately after his sentence, leaving no time for Kim to respond. "Asshole." Kim puts her phone down. She walks to the front door and checks the deadbolt. It's locked. She retrieves her phone and attempts calling Victoria. No answer. She grunts and becomes frustrated. She stomps up the stairs to her parents' room, phone gripped in her hand tightly. She goes to their dresser and takes out her dad's hunting knife. Usually she would blow things off, but Garrett has done things like this in the past. Become demanding or intolerant when things don't go his way, especially with sex. He's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde when he's drunk. He becomes the unrecognizable person. Kim likes to hang on to those moments they share when he's sober. Kim closes her door and begins sobbing to herself. Outside, a while later, Garrett drunkenly steps on the walkway that leads up to Kim's house. He stops and stares at her house. He slowly moves to the side of the house and enters her backyard. As he rounds the corner to step on the back porch, an axe swings through the air with great force and is buried into his chest. The man in the wolf mask steps into view. Garrett gasps for air as blood runs out of his mouth. The man rips the axe from his chest. Garrett collapses and eventually loses the battle of trying to stay alive. The kid stands behind the man and watches as the man takes a few more hacks to Garrett's dead body. Kim is still in her room. She's awake but still fighting it. Her cold has wiped her out physically. There's a noise that comes from downstairs. She opens the door as quietly as she can and begins to walk down the stairs. She's cautious with each step, ensuring she doesn't make any noise. The hunting knife is pointed in front of her, ready to defend herself. She reaches the bottom of the stairs. It's silent. Every breath she takes seems to be magnified. Her heart thunders in her chest. She enters the kitchen and on the counter is the bowl that was on the porch. She fails to notice it as she moves towards the backsliding door. The door is partially cracked open. She closes it and locks it. The doorbell rings. Kim nearly jumps out of her skin. She double checks the time. She approaches the front door but still keeps her distance. She's quiet. The bell rings again. "Go away, Garrett," she calls out timidly. There's no response. "You're drunk and need to sleep it off." A moment of intensity passes. Kim's posture is tense. Her fear is heightened. There's a loud knock that breaks the silence. The knock is repeated several times. "I'm gonna call the cops," Kim yells over the knocks. They stop and the silence returns. She fights back her emotions and tries to remain strong. She texts him, "Leave now." Her phone dings, startling her. It's a reply from Garrett. She opens it and reads it aloud. "Didn't mean to scare you. Forgive me?" Kim's defenses are weakened. She cracks a partial smile. She texts back, "Of course. Still can't let you in, though." Her phone dings almost instantly. "Please, it's cold outside." Kim is overcome with guilt. She debates it in her head for a moment. She sets the hunting knife down. She sighs and decides to let Garrett in. She unlocks the deadbolt and opens the front door. There's nobody there. "Asshole," she says to herself. The cold night air blows slightly, sending a chill down her spine. Behind her, the man in the wolf mask moves silently. "You have 5 seconds and then I'm closing the door." She allows the seconds to pass and then closes the door as promised. She texts him, "Lost your chance. Good night." Ding! Garrett's phone goes off from upstairs. Kim's heart sinks to her stomach at the unsuspecting sound. "Garrett?" she calls out. No response. She starts walking up the stairs with 2 goals: to get Garrett out of her house and ensure he's really not too drunk to walk home. "If you're trying to scare me, it's not funny," she calls out loudly. Still, she is only met with silence. She becomes more anxious with every step. Her palms are clammy and her teeth even start to chatter slightly. She's terrified. She dials Garrett's number and his phone starts ringing. The ring is coming from the end of her long, dark hallway. She flips on the switch and the light comes on overhead. At the end of the hallway is Garrett's phone. It's resting on the ground, face up. Fuck this. She turns to run, but bumps into the man in the wolf mask. She falls to the ground and loses her grip on her phone. Kim looks up to the man, who stares down at her, his axe down by his side, his eyes hidden in the darkness of his mask. She lets out a deafening scream. Without any time to grab her phone, which is by the man's boots, she jumps to her feet and runs to the end of the hall. The man begins walking in her direction. The blood-stained axe drags along the carpet. Kim frantically looks around her parents' bedroom and tries to hatch an escape plan promptly. The doorknob starts jiggling violently. Kim runs up to the window and looks down. It's a straight drop to the grassy ground. She's hesitant, but what choice does she have? She slides the window open, and as she's fighting with her choices, the axe penetrates through the thin wood door. The man swings the axe again, taking a bigger chunk out of the door. "Shit!" Kim screams, putting her legs through the open window. She lowers herself as much as possible and drops, tucking her legs and rolling upon landing. She still twists her ankle and is injured on the ground for a moment. She stands and gingerly limps away from her house and into the street. "Help me!" she screams. Nobody comes to her aid. She turns back to her house and sees the child standing on her front porch. "Kid, come here." The kid remains still and unresponsive. She walks closer to him. "There's a man inside and he's trying to hurt me. We have to go." She reaches out her hand towards the kid. He giggles and runs towards the side of her house. Reluctantly, Kim follows. She enters her backyard, quietly closing the gate to be sure it doesn't slam. The kid is gone. Shit. She moves slowly to the back patio. Kim steps around the corner and immediately she's knocked over the head with the wood handle of the axe. Her body falls to the ground, unconscious. The man drags her body into the house. Kim opens her eyes. It takes a moment for the world to come into focus. She attempts standing but can't. Her hands and feet are bound by duct tape to a kitchen chair. She tries screaming but can't. Her mouth has been gagged with a sock and a piece of tape placed over it. She cries and tries shaking herself loose from the restraints. Standing just a few feet from her is the kid. He tilts his head, watching her. The man enters the dining room area. He's holding the hunting knife in one hand and the axe in the other. Kim panics and begins screaming as loud as she can. Only muffled sounds escape through the duct tape. She shakes the chair violently. As she does, the man stands next to the kid, watching Kim. He places his arm around the kid, and in return the kid leans into the man. After struggling and exalting all her energy, Kim grows tired and ceases trying any further. The man hands the kid the hunting knife. The kid looks up to the man. He nods, giving the kid the signal to proceed. The kid steps closer to Kim. The hunting knife is pointed out towards Kim. She closes her eyes and suddenly her world has gone dark. The blade of the knife punctures her stomach and is slowly pushed all the way in. Blood oozes out of her wound. She winces in pain and slowly slips into that permanent sleep. The afternoon sun hangs high in the sky. A car pulls into the Reese's driveway and parks. It's Kim's parents. They get out of their car, still dressed in their Halloween costumes. "Remind me to never drink beer before liquor again," Philip remarks. Margaret laughs at her husband. "You don't remember that old saying, liquor before beer and you're in the clear?" Philip scoffs. Apparently not. They approach the front door and find it open. Philip pushes it open. "Kim?" he calls out. There is no response, only an unsettling silence. "That's weird," Margaret remarks to Philip. "Very." They enter their home. As they progress further in, they make the shocking discovery. a discovery no parent should ever have to make. Their daughter, Kim's body limp in the kitchen chair with a puddle of blood on the floor. Margaret falls to her knees and screams in agonizing pain. Philip stands by shocked, staring at his dead daughter. The man in the wolf mask and the kid drive up in an old beat-up truck to a rundown mobile home. They step out of the truck and walk up to the mobile home. As they enter, they take their mask off. The man, his appearance isn't some hideous deformed monster. He's average looking with a scruffy beard and blue eyes. The kid, an innocent looking young boy with a twinkle in his eyes. The kid runs and jumps on the couch. He turns on cartoons. "Good job tonight, son," the man tells his child. The kid smiles. "Now can I have my candy?" "A deal's a deal," the man says, unfolding a picture of Kim and her family. He tosses it on a pile of other pictures. The kid jumps to his feet and books it to the kitchen, where he retrieves his Halloween candy. He rushes back to the couch and begins munching on his sweets, obtained going from door to door. The man lights a cigarette and sits in deep thought. He ponders their next move, their next victim.